And we are back. Conjugate Nation, Chapter 7. Very hot week today in the Lehigh Valley. The temperatures were up, but we still were able to get a lot of work done. On Monday, we opened up with our max effort bench. Here's Tyler working with reverse bands and the slingshot, hitting 350 for one. Here is my top set without the slingshot. It was 400 for one. Hell of a grinder here. For Tyler and myself, we wanted to get a big-time overload. We wanted to feel some heavier weights that we're not used to feeling. I slapped a slingshot on after 400, hit 405 for a double, then this top set of 440 for a single. I'm going to be getting in the shirt, I believe, next week, so I wanted to feel a little bit of an overload. We followed that up with some overhead pressing. I definitely got away from overheads for about 6 to 10 weeks, I believe. I was just doing some incline work, but I threw these back into the rotation 2 weeks ago, and this is our third week of working with overheads. So we did, I think we did like 15 to start, and then we did 10s or 12s or something. Then we did around 8s today. Just burning out, getting a lot of volume into the upper back and the shoulders. Here's Steve working with 225. I believe the video cuts around 10. He was looking to get some hypertrophy. He was winning the hypertrophy over there at Metro Gym, but does a decent job here, just pounding out the weights and really greasing that range of motion and understanding where the bar's got to touch every time. A lot of benching is understanding your form and where the bar has to hit to put your body in the best position it has to be. Later in the week, Tyler and I are benching and we started talking about wrist position and elbow position. That's big. That's huge for being able to press some bigger weights. Here's 315, my second week. Dynamic effort squats with the safety squat bar, 315, 5x5. We moved into speed pulls, working with 315 again. Hit 8 sets of 1 this week. We threw a little chain around the bar. The back pump was real again, felt good. But I was working some sumo pulls later in the week, and I had a decent day on Saturday. But I remember watching a video that Chris Duffin put up. He said you're trying to wedge your hips underneath the bar, and I didn't do a good job of that on Wednesday here, but I did a great job of it on Saturday, and it really, I felt like I could get a lot more drive into the bar. Here's something that you don't really see much on this channel. It's a little bit of Olympic lifting. Here's Kyle. He has a deload this week, so he wanted to try a couple things that are new. He's definitely into this. The infamous Dan and John, who in my opinion is like the first. I think it's kind of where Jim Wendler got a lot of his ideas from. The guy preaches simplicity. He preaches the basics, and you get results from it. It's pretty good for Kyle. And never doing a movement like that, throwing around 110s for a while. Here's our dynamic effort day. I heard a podcast with Louis Simmons, and he talked about maybe switching up and throwing in some rep work in for your dynamic day. So maybe I'm going to do about 3 weeks of rep. Here's Tyler pressing with 135 for 6 for 6. A little chain weight, but if you can see his elbow, how his wrist is behind his elbow. When he has a slingshot off, that's where he tends to get caught. Being able to line that wrist up with the elbow is huge. My issue is not the elbow. It's more the bar falling back in my wrist, and I can't really press from that position. Like I said before, here's Kyle on a deload. He's working. He's trying to get his hands into a front rack position there. He has some really bad shoulders. He had both of them operated on in the past, so his range of motion is very limited, but his squats are looking good, just kind of taking a break and relaxing. In my opinion, Steve had a great squat day today. He changed it up a little bit. I know he was feeling beat up, but he worked with 255 for 8 sets of 1. We timed his rest periods. They were about 30 seconds apiece. And here's my shit show of a squat day. 505, everything felt heavy. Been doing a lot of running around the last couple of days. It just wasn't there today in the squats. It felt like hell. Getting down there was shit. It was hot. It was humid. The bar couldn't get settled on my back, but hit 500 right there, or 505. Then I went right into 555, thinking it was going to be a tough one, but I lost it in my upper back rolled, and then that was that. It's the first weight that I failed with probably in about 13 to 15 weeks. Ended up hitting a back down set here of 505 for 3 without the box. This felt decent, but one thing I did learn from this squat day was I have to definitely handle straight weight in the free squat to get the bottom position a little bit more comfortable. You hear Duke getting wild, getting yelled at in the back. But anyway, I wasn't comfortable in the hole. My knees were kind of shaking around. My body wasn't tight. I tried to salvage today here. We had about an inch and a half, sumo pulls off about an inch and a half a box. Just kind of threw about 3 half-inch box down, or mats down, and pulled off. Here's 500. Felt great. I said, screw it, let's put 6 on there and see how it feels. Great, it felt awesome, but the bar slipped out of my left hand. I was definitely heated, but came back and got it. Round 2 here, 600. Felt great. Really happy. It saved my day. So moving into next week, stay safe and stay strong.